Hey, book lovers, welcome back to Shelf Addiction, the podcast where we dive deep into the pages of thriller and fantasy reads. I'm your host, Tamara, and today we are covering our December thriller buddy read. If you crave the full visual experience and want to ditch the ads, head on over to Patreon. You'll unlock ad-free video episodes, exclusive after shows, and other bonus content. If you prefer audio only, Spreaker listeners, you too have access to after shows and exclusives right there on that platform. And if Spotify is your home, guess what? You too have access to the videos and the audio over there. So subscribe, support the podcast. Want even more bookish banter? Join our community over on the Book Clubs app. It's free to join. And don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review wherever you're listening. Help other readers find us. Speaking of community, I'm thrilled to welcome back my fabulous thriller mystery co-host and friend, Classy from the Bookish Virtual Assistant. Welcome back, Classy.
Hey, Tamara. How are you?
It's December.
I know. And
cold.
You know, like this is like the cold, the temps that we have, and you too, because you're, near
we're Midwest
Canada.
girlies.
Yeah, this is January, February weather that we're getting, and it's supposed to get worse. So, kudos to you for getting out of this.
Yes, I'm going to the warmth where it's 52 degrees and sunny.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So jealous.
Yeah, so we not only Midwest girlies, we're Great Lakes girlies, and the lake effect is real.
Oh, girl. Oh.
Yeah. All right. So you guys, the links to find both of us on our socials are below in the show notes. Click around, do all the things. We appreciate you for doing that. And of course, as always with Book Chats, we talk full spoilers here. So spoiler alert, you've been warned. Today we are discussing The Quiet Tenant by Clemence Micheline. I should have said that with a French accent, but that was good enough.
I know. When I was hearing you say her name, I was like, I can't wait to hear Tamara say her name.
Look, I'm like, girl, that's too much. I can't.
Yes.
Okay. The audiobook is narrated by a full cast, a lot of people. Like, I think it's over 10 narrators on there.
It is.
Fun stuff. Published June 20th, 2023 by Knopf and Random House Audio. The hardcover is 303 pages and the unabridged audio is 10 hours and 44 minutes. Classy, would you kindly share the synopsis?
Sure. Aidan Thomas is a hardworking family man and a somewhat beloved figure in the small upstate New York town where he lives. He's the kind of man who always lends a hand and has a good word for everyone. But Aidan has a dark secret he's keeping from everyone in town and those closest to him. He's a kidnapper and serial killer. Aidan has murdered 8 women, and there's a 9th he has earmarked for Rachel. Imprisoned in a backyard shed, fearing for her life. When Aidan's wife dies, he and his 13-year-old daughter, Cecilia, are forced to move. Aidan has no choice but to bring Rachel along, introducing her to Cecilia as a family friend who needs a place to stay. Aidan is betting on Rachel after 5 years of captivity, of being too brainwashed and fearful to attempt to escape. But Rachel is a fighter and survivor and recognizes Cecilia might just be the lifeline she has waited for all these years. As Rachel tests the boundaries of her new living situation, she begins to form a tenuous connection with Cecilia. And when Emily, a local restaurant owner, develops a crush on the handsome widower, she finds herself drawn into Rachel and Cecilia's orbit, coming dangerously close to discovering Aidan's secret. Told through the perspectives of Rachel, Cecilia, and Emily, The Quiet Tenant explores the psychological impact of Aidan's crimes on the women in his life and the bonds between those women that give them the strength to fight back. Both a searing thriller and an astute study of trauma, survival, and the dynamics of power. The Quiet Tenant is an electrifying debut thriller by a major talent.
Before we get into our first feelings about the book, I know usually I don't read the synopsis, and I don't think you do either.
No, I haven't lately. I had just seen people say, and I was the one who picked this one, and I just had seen it on either TikTok or, Instagram where people would just show books and say, "Good thrillers you should read," and then they, like, show a book. And then I go in there and kinda look at it and see the rating, because that's kind of how we've been doing some things, like, okay, it's a thriller, looks like they have a lot of reviews and a nice rating. So, and I thought the cover was interesting.
Mhm.
So yeah, so I was like, "Okay,
Yeah.
Quiet Tenant." I knew a little, but not enough. I didn't read the full synopsis like I just did.
Yeah,
So
when you read that, I was like, when you read it, I said, "Wow, they tell a lot."
and yeah, they did, and I'm kinda glad that I didn't, um, read the synopsis
Mhm.
because it gave I won't say it gave away a lot, but, enough.
Yeah, so like the synopsis kinda said, it's really a character study more than anything.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um,
There
because
wasn't really a mystery, it was more
no.
suspense and, psychological thriller.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
definitely was a thriller, it was definitely psychological. Nothing was mysterious to me, absolutely nothing.
No, it was suspenseful, I will say, I would give suspense in there. Um, but yeah, the synopsis, I am kind of glad I didn't read it, but I feel like even if I did read it,
Mhm.
after reading the book or listening to the book, it still was enjoyable. I
Yeah,
felt like, um, Clemence did a great job writing this story, and from even though it was told in second person, which, doesn't happen often.
yeah.
We rarely get a story told in second person, mm, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it kind of like, was it the ghostwriter that we had listened, where it was like we were listening to someone from the grave kinda telling their story? Um, and I really did. I enjoyed how each chapter, um the titles of the chapter and how the story was told. And I know a lot of people, I after I finished it, I was like, I want to hear what people have to say because I know some people are probably like, I wanted more from the serial killer. I wanted to know why Aiden did what he
It
did.
doesn't
And
matter.
no, because this isn't what that wasn't her purpose of writing this story. It was about the quiet tenant. It was about the women. It was,
Mhm.
and, I enjoyed that because so many times how many women, like they were she mentioned there's some stories of women in Ohio who, who got away, and, um, the Stockholm syndrome, and so many times, like people I was frustrated, "Why didn't they just do this, this, and that?" And while reading that story, you feel like that. But then when you start listening to the story and you start hearing the other women and how he tricked them, you begin to see how easy it can happen. Even though it's easy to say it from our point of view, like, "I would never do that.
It's
I would never."
actually let me just interject. It's actually this story made me realize that it's not that simple to say that because, our main character, she talks about listening to true crime and all this stuff, and bad things happen. And it's like, when you think about it, you could be all awares, but when someone, and this is how he got her, someone holds a gun on you, what are you going to do? You're in the middle of nowhere with no one
Right.
around.
Yeah, and the gun, I mean, he pulled over with, fake sirens, came up to her window with a gun, like she had no place to go. I mean, granted, she coulda hit the gas, but that's
She was
all.
already out the car, remember? She got out
Oh,
and
that's
she
right.
said, "Well, he looks like he might be okay." It's one of these
That's
moments
right.
where you're not sure, is this a good bad person or a bad person?
Yeah, I forgot about that. But yeah,
Yeah.
it is, I saw so many, I would never do that. She shoulda just, and I'm like,
No.
it's so
If
easy to say that
yeah.
from a different, because we're the reader and we are given so many things ahead of time, but when you're in that situation, how hard is it? and it really I really had I mean, I always have a compassion for people who have been kidnapped and held hostage, or, in those type of situations, but this one was I thought it was really eye-opening.
But even with that for me, um, so first I'll just say, I thought it was well done, and I found myself almost feeling stress while listening to this. I'm like, "Girl, hurry the fuck up." It's like, we know what she's doing, and the author is taking her time. She is
Mhm.
slow-mowing this thing, and it's by design, I think, to make you feel the stress and the tension.
I felt like I was in a movie, like, "Run, girl, run!"
Yeah, and, like,
Yeah,
I found myself, like you say, even though I did not find myself judging her, I felt very frustrated by her at times. So let me give you an example. So the very first time she decides she's gonna make a run for it, she tries to take Cecilia with her. I'm like, "Leave that fucking girl there. Are you stupid? Leave." I'm like, "You could get them to the police and then she'll be away from him.
yeah,
Why are you trying to take that girl with you? That's
yeah.
gonna fail. It's going to fail." And it failed. And I just was like, "You dummy! Why did you do that?"
Mhm.
So the level of frustration was real. I could not understand the logic of what some of the things she was doing. Like, I felt like she did take her sweet time. I know she was looking for the perfect moment, but she just had so many. After a certain point, the opportunities were more regular for her to get away. And she
Yeah.
took her sweet time leaving.
Yeah, and I also think well, for one, I think she was trying to take the girl because she thought the dad was hurting her. Granted, like you were saying, come back, but in her mind, she was like she was saving all the girls before her and after her. And she, then that was in her mindset because it was like, I don't want this evil man to hurt another person. That's what she was thinking. But then those opportunities, like you were saying, she had them, but he had put so much fear in her, like he made her feel like I'm watching every moment. Y every move you make, every step you take, I'm watching you, and then she started seeing him chip away and just, slowly beginning to see his facade crack. Um,
But
Emily came
at the beginning, though, she questioned if he was telling the truth. So
Mhm.
she was still there.
Yeah.
She wasn't completely depleted, but she
No,
just didn't wanna risk it at first.
no, because he had caused bodily harm to her, and she was
Mhm.
afraid of that, and for him to say, "I got cameras in here." And then she realized, "Oh, wait, your daughter put sanitary pads in here,
You didn't
and
say
you didn't know
nothing.
about it." And
Mhm.
she's like, "Duly noted.
Mhm.
Emily got in here,
You
and
ain't
you
say
didn't say
nothing.
anything. Duly noted." So,
Mhm.
I mean, granted, I was frustrated too, but I also felt like this woman realized because what was her one line? Rule number 1, staying
Staying alive.
alive.
Yep.
So those are some of the I was frustrated with her, but then I started putting myself in her mindset while reading this book because one false move and she's dead. Not just and that's her goal was to make it and to survive. Even though I was frustrated, I got the concentration and the thought and the planning and
Yeah.
and she was watching everything and trying to can you imagine too, like, you have to remember, like, everything, where things are at. For one, for 5 years, you've been in a shed,
Mhm.
and then all of a sudden, you're thrust into this place. You haven't eaten right, like, you gotta get your mind right. I can't imagine. I'm being thrust in this situation, and everything is coming at me in all these different ways. It's kinda like sensory overload. That's how I felt with her, like, I felt like it was sensory overload, and she had to kinda, like, regulate herself.
Mhm. It took her a long time, though. It took a long time, and I know the author did that on purpose. Again, I
Yeah.
think she's trying to, like, level up the amount of dread and
Yeah.
frustration the reader will feel, So I know she did that on purpose, but still, I feel like it was 6 months probably in that house before she actually was able to get away, maybe longer because it was
Maybe.
summer, then it was Christmas.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
at least 6 months,
Yeah.
maybe a little longer.
For one, you know what I thought about that with that too? Her strength, remember? Like, she didn't have a period for the longest, then she
Mhm.
got a period. She could barely eat because she wasn't used to eating regular food, and then all of a sudden she started kinda, like, building up strength. So I felt like, all those it was all
Yeah, it was step by step.
methodical. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
methodical.
Because, for you guys, if you've it's been a while since you read the book or didn't read the book, so the whole time she was in the shed, Aiden was, like, giving her leftovers from his plate, or he was, like, because he was married. He's married with a whole ass wife and a child. So, he's not like he could give her full meals, so he's kinda, like, skirting the ends, he was just piecemealing it out. Sometimes she ate, sometimes she didn't.
Yeah,
So it got to the point where she was very, very thin. She didn't even recognize herself the first time she saw herself in the mirror in the
yeah,
house. But then when they got there and he said, "Hey, this is a tenant," to his daughter, and she'll join us for breakfast and dinner or whatever. She
yeah.
finally started getting regular food, put on a couple LBs, started getting
Mhm.
her cycle back, with things. You know how when people don't eat, that's what happens. You start
Yeah,
losing things. You lose muscle mass, you lose everything.
yeah.
And he probably didn't even consider that he was helping to strengthen her again physically.
Mhm. And she was a runner. She never told him she was a runner.
Yes, she kept that
So
to herself.
yeah, so she had the endurance, and once she got in there, she was like, probably doing sit-ups or push-ups or doing something lifting something, but she fought him back one time, and he was like, "What in the
He was
fuck
caught
are
off
you?"
guard. He was surprised.
Yeah, yeah, he went to cuff her because he would handcuff her to the bed or
The
yeah, to the
radiator.
radiator or the bottom, yeah. And he went to handcuff her one time, and she was like, not today. I don't
Yeah,
wanna
she,
be
like, yanked
handcuffed.
her hand away and then shoved him. He was like, "Oh my god," like,
I have created a monster." Yes,
yeah,
you have.
and she said he kinda looked a little scared in that moment, like, "Oh, wait a minute, she might actually try to fight me."
Mhm.
And it might not even be that he was scared that he'd have to deal with her, quote, unquote. It was more that he didn't want Cecilia to hear anything.
Yeah. And that's his arrogance, that
Mhm,
he was just like, "She ain't gonna do nothing."
mhm.
She so and then after that, he tried to put a little fear into her and bring her into town and show people.
Oh, that was so bold.
Yeah, like,
He
"Look, people love me. They'll believe me before they believe
She
you."
he drove right up to the judge and had a
Mhm.
whole ass conversation. It was like, "Oh, this is my cousin from out of town." She couldn't even speak.
Mm-mm.
And in that moment, I was also frustrated because I'm like, "What?" And I thought in my mind, "What would have happened if? Would the judge had just written you off as a Looney Tunes, or would he have said, 'Let her out of the car. Let me see what she's talking about?'"
Yeah. I don't know because everybody just loved him and
But
that
one didn't. Like, I think about that final part. She dragged her ass and the little girl to the police station. I still didn't understand why she took the little girl, but I guess maybe because he will follow her and go there. I
yeah,
think that was the
the
goal.
plan. Yeah.
Yeah. But that police officer, he's like, he knew him, but he was like, "I'm sorry, dude. Um, I gotta put you in cuffs. Like, this is crazy. You gotta
Yeah.
back down." He's like, "I don't want to do this, but he looked like he's
Yeah.
going for her." So
Belligerent.
he
Mhm.
was belligerent, he was loud, he looked like he was getting aggressive, so he did cuff him,
Yeah.
even though he knew him.
And he
So,
knew that she had taken his daughter. He
yeah,
knew she was wrong, but still, we gotta follow the law. The
yeah,
law is the law.
yeah. So
But
I think
again, that just showed you how arrogant he was and how he was like, "Everybody loves me. I'm loved. I'm beloved in this neck of the woods. People
he
love
was.
me."
He was beloved because he's always trying to do stuff. He knew what he was doing, just like in last month's book. Remember we talked about how people are, like, being gaslit.
Mhm.
They don't know these people. You think you know them, you do not
No,
know them.
not at all.
They will trick you and they will have I feel like anybody who is super charismatic and everyone loves them, look out for them.
Yeah, there's
Something is wrong.
something is
Yeah.
amiss, one of
Like,
those words.
yeah, because it makes them not consider them as an option when bad things happen.
Right, yeah. It makes you lose that sense of, when you judge or, like, I can't remember what term you used before when we overlook that because they're right in our face, but we overlook it. What was the term you used? I can't remember. Bias? Something bias?
I
Yeah.
don't know. It
But
was whatever it was brilliant. Now it's gone.
it was brilliant, it
Thank
was
you.
so brilliant. But yeah, you do, you tend to think, you see it all the time and just, "Oh, he would never do that. My son wouldn't hurt a fly." I think they just said that about the guy who had planted the pipe bombs at the DNC. He did it at
Mm-mm.
the Republican National Convention and at the Democratic. It was a black young man, and his grandmother was like, "He wouldn't hurt a fly." "Okay, Granny.
Until he did. I don't
Okay,
know.
Granny."
Willfully ignorant. They
Yeah.
just won't see it. Like they
Mhm.
refuse.
Yeah.
Um, which is horrible, but that is the tool he used, a manipulation of the masses. And
Mhm.
he's like, and he even told his daughter, it's important that people like us.
Yeah.
They want to throw this party, we're going to accept it. They want to do this volunteer run and give us some money, we're going to oblige
Accept it. Yeah, and then
because they like us.
and act so grateful and,
Yeah.
just, "Oh my gosh, thank you,
Mhm.
thank you."
Yeah.
And that arrogance and that belovedness, that manipulation he used to his advantage with Emily.
Now,
You know,
Emily ass need therapy.
she does.
I'm like, Emily, why are you latching on to this man so hard? First off, let me just go on a little mini rant. I feel like Aiden's old ass. He's old.
Mhm,
And because Emily told a story about her being a kid and he came in and helps with something in the restaurant. I said, why
mhm.
are you trying to date that old ass man?
'Cause some people like older men. Hey, she had just lost her dad and her mom. She was needy.
She was, and it showed.
But I feel like she had a crush on him for a long time. Remember she mentioned going to their house for the Christmas party
Yeah.
and how yeah. So, I mean, she was needy, but again, I feel like this was a young girl who had a crush on him for the longest, and now he's a widower, and she shot her shot.
Look.
Come
Okay,
on.
okay, girlie. You shoot your shot at the serial killer rapist. I don't I guess I missed what was so attractive about him through her eyes. Because I felt like, yeah, he was in there, brooding and she thought he was cute or something, you know.
And he was sad. He had just lost his
Yeah,
wife.
right.
And he's a manipulator. Like, those kind of men know exactly who to go after.
That was
Besides
bait.
yeah, it was. But, like, the people he had been watching, but he knew that she was a front for, the quiet tenant. Here I'm gonna have, her as someone who's just fawning all over me. But this young girl saw her opportunity. She was like, she had been crushing on him for the longest. Here's my chance. He's a widow now. He needs some cooking and some cleaning and some loving and hugging. And I'm the one to give it to him.
Look, she and herself was a little bit off. Let me tell you, who the fuck walks into someone else's house?
I know, but some
Twice
people
she
do.
did it.
Apparently, he didn't say nothing bad to her the first time.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm like, girl, that is some horror story type shit. You could have walked in there. You were in the basement with him. He could have
Thought he was
knocked
gonna
you out.
I thought he was. I thought he really was.
The
I
only
thought
thing that saved her was that
the
engine
car.
roaring.
Yeah,
He's
I thought
like,
he was gonna knock the fuck out of her
he would have
because
got her. 'Cause he
Yeah,
grabbed her arm.
and right, and he woulda got away with it because nobody should have been in the house.
Yeah. I'm like, "You crazy, girl. You crazy. Like, what are you doing?" And then you gonna
Mm-mm.
go in the basement and be snooping at his stuff. You are not supposed to be there.
Yeah, but it happens. That kinda stuff happens. Just
I
gullible, just fucking gullible. My thing is, girl, when you saw that woman in the house, when you came why did you come back? "Oh,
and
because
look,
I'm better. He's gonna
look,
be mine."
I'm sorry.
Why isn't he chasing me?
She's Delulu. She need therapy because
Yes.
when she saw um Rachel and she said, "Oh, I'm his friend. I mean, cousin." She said,
I
Emily
know
said,
she's on
"That is a lie."
mhm,
She knew it,
mhm,
but she
and she
came
still
back for
tagged him.
more. She still
Yep,
chased his ass for
yep,
more. And
yep.
then she's like, and even when at the end of this book, she sees him chasing her and his daughter,
Thank you.
and then she sees him grab the daughter and then keep running after the woman
Yeah.
like his life depended on it. And she's like, Aiden, get back here.
Now that shit no, here's the thing too. He clearly said, "I
I
should have
should have killed
killed
her
her
when
ass
yes, he did. And you
when
gonna
I had"
ignore that?
and
Yes. When
talking
I
about
had the
maybe he
chance, I
just
should have
was
killed her.
upset. No. When he said that and you saw how he ran after her, you just lucked out, ma'am.
She really did because I was like, is he gonna realize that he said that out loud to her?
But he was so focused because he knew the
He knew what
gig
she was
was
doing.
up. He
Yeah,
knew the
he needs to
gig
catch
was up.
her.
Mhm. Because he knew
Um,
exactly where she was going.
Now that whole scene, her yelling after him saying that in the car, I'm like, what the
But also, it she made a comment where she's like, he looked back and kinda paused at her, and he's like, that gave,
her
um,
seconds to
Rachel's
get away.
yeah, so I think she realized it, but it was like, "But I still love him."
And she said, why won't he chase me? So I think she, in that moment, felt two opposite things. So she obviously felt something was wrong. Why is he chasing her like that? Let me
Mhm.
just call out.
Yeah.
And then after that happened and he turned away and continued to run after her, then why won't he chase me? Why is he chasing her? I'm like, girl, get your ass in therapy immediately. Do not pass go. Do not collect
No.
$200.
No.
Straight to therapy.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what's wrong with you? This man just told you I should
I
have killed
shoulda
her
killed
when
her.
I had the, that chance.
Yeah, and I mean, and
And he
the
meant it.
yeah, right? And it had nothing to and in that moment, it had nothing to do with him taking her daughter,
No.
his daughter.
Mm,
His whole focus was Rachel.
yes, it was. And honestly, what was interesting to me is I think, and the author did a lot of like kind of forward thinking about how Cecilia would find out or feel about her dad in the future, oh, when she figures this out. Um, but I think Cecilia knew something was off the whole time because even in that scene when she's running away,
Mhm.
Cecilia's like kind of being dragged at first. And then she realizes she's not being dragged anymore. She's running like at pace with her,
Yes,
not
exactly.
being dragged.
Right. And Rachel was like, "Whoa, whoa. Oh, she's with me." She's
Mm-hmm.
like, she's on board.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I also felt like in one of the scenes when she caught Rachel in the basement looking for the batteries, and
Mm-hmm.
she says, "I go through the boxes and I have to replace the tape." She saw something. There's no way that she hasn't gone through all the kids snoop.
She probably noticed something.
She saw something that wasn't her mother's.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause, serial killers keep trinkets,
And he
and there
did.
were trinkets.
There were a lot of them. She had them in her pocket. She had some
Mhm.
photos in her pocket just in
Mhm.
case he decided to get rid of evidence. I'm like, that
Mhm.
was pretty smart.
Yeah, put stuff in her bra and all
Yeah.
but yeah, so I have a feeling too that Cecilia had saw some things in the basement, but it's like,
She don't know.
I'm
She
not
know her dad
sure.
got some creepy things going on. She might not know
Yeah,
that he murdered those people, but
right. Yeah, but
yeah,
then when she realized Rachel took her a second time, she's just like,
something is.
something ain't right."
And I think the way, and probably what triggered her also in that moment is, when he yanks her back, instead of her stopping or crying, she runs. She's like, "Shoo!"
Mhm.
And the way that her dad, her father is chasing this woman, she's like, yeah,
Right.
something
I'm
is not
I'm
right.
supposed to be the right. I You got me.
Right. But you're still chasing her.
Mhm. Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah, and she's probably beginning to realize too, like, "Hey, I could never do anything. We never had company. It was always people. The police would come here and they'd search my, all those things probably were just playing back in her head. Like,
You
she's
know,
a smart girl.
speaking of Cecilia, that part where she actually got on the train to like kind of just escape for a minute. She wasn't running away. She was gonna come home. And
Hmm.
he runs. I knew he's gonna run up on her ass. I said, "He tracking your ass, duh." Um, uh,
Yeah, but she
but
don't. Yeah.
the thing is, like, what's crazy is he's like, "Do you know what could have happened? Someone could have got you." I said, someone like you could have got your daughter."
Hmm.
And that's why
Exactly.
you feel like this, because
Yep.
there are people like you out in the
Out
world,
there. Yep.
and someone could have got your girl
Exactly.
and did what you're doing to people, to her.
Hmm. Yep.
That's why you're
She's out there,
so.
wandering around looking
Yeah,
like she's lost. That's how you got your victims before. Yeah. Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah. Now, did you notice in this book that there was no number 6?
Okay, let's take a break and I'll get back to you on that. All right, you guys, let's take a quick break. Check out these commercials. By doing that, you are supporting the podcast. Don't forget to check out the book review journal available on Amazon right now. Click around, do all the things. We appreciate you for doing that, and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back.
Yes.
Say that one more time.
The chapters. So, there was the woman in the cabin or the woman in the shed, woman in transit, and then in between there'd be like number 1, basically victim number 1, number 2, number 3. There was never a number 6. And you look at the chapters, and that's like, was she number 6?
It makes me wonder if she was, because we know that when we went back to one, that was the past.
Mm-hmm.
So he'd been doing it all the time, and then something was different about her, because I think she's number 6.
Yeah.
That makes complete sense. And did I read this right, or did I misunderstand? He was the one that drugged her drink,
I believe so.
and then she got away,
Yeah.
and then he was following her and watching her.
Well, she got the drink drugged, and then she went to the hospital,
Mhm.
right? Now, did she get kidnapped right after the hospital? No.
No, but remember, he was following her.
Yeah, because she did find pictures and things.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
so she could have went home, and, she was depressed for a little while because,
Mhm,
something could have happened, and she was out there trying to. He was following her a lot, so he
mhm.
could have had a attempt, it failed, and he just followed her until he could get her.
Get to her, right, down a road. See, she's by herself. Here's a
Mhm,
perfect opportunity to pull her over and do whatever. But, yeah, I felt like he had been in that bar,
mhm.
just not had approached her. Like she said, she had gotten up and hadn't covered her drink all the time. So, and I mean, if you've been out at parties or in a bar, that can happen so easily.
Yeah,
If you don't have your girlfriend watching your yeah.
yeah. On a side note to that, I saw a TikTok the other day where they were talking about bars are starting to hand out those, like, foil type covers, for
Mm,
your drinks where you just stick your straw through.
mhm.
But then someone on the comments says, "But the bartenders are putting stuff in your drinks." I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, I've heard that too, that they work together in
Mhm,
tandem with people. Yeah,
mhm,
just so sad. Like in hotels, like I've been hearing too that like if you, because you and I travel sometime and travel sing, solo.
mhm.
Not often, but they say, like, when you go to the hotel and you get your key and you say, "Can I have 2 key cards for one for me and one for my husband? He's coming later."
Mhm. Just
Even,
so you know you're not alone.
that
Mhm.
because hotels are teaming with sex traffickers who
Yeah.
or just rapists or whoever, any kind of
Thieves.
criminals, yeah, and they come up to your room
Yeah.
and they say, "Oh, I thought you needed towels." I didn't ask for towels. So yeah, I've heard that asked for 2 key cards.
Mhm.
So,
I always do. I'm like, "Yeah,
yeah.
I need to."
Mhm. But yeah, but like after reading this, it just made me even more hyper vigilant about just, 'cause sometimes you just are. Especially if somebody's nice and you conversate and could be a fucking Ted Bundy.
Look, everybody is suspect
Yeah.
today.
Mhm.
It's crazy times.
Yeah.
And I mean, like I said earlier, that really hit me in a way. This character, our main character, she's not an idiot. She
No.
knows about the world. She's not oblivious.
Yeah.
She had a near miss.
Yeah.
Something really bad could have happened to her, but still, she still got anyway.
Mhm. Yeah, and I remember her saying too that, with her going missing, she wondered if her family was still looking for her because, she had gone through that bout of depression. So, that's the classic thing. They'll say, "Well, she was depressed. Maybe um, yeah, she was, but
Yeah.
so many times people don't go looking for runaways or depressed people but with number 6, it hit me again in my head because I remember I read in the synopsis that Rachel was earmarked to be the ninth, but the ninth murdered. So number 6 is missing because he didn't kill her,
Right. She's still there.
but she was earmarked to be later on.
Mhm.
But he kept her because remember she said a murder of crows, and he's like, "What did you say?" And I think he felt like that connection because he's losing his wife, and I remember the story, with the birds or the animals, and he was teaching his daughter, how the names of groups of animals and
Mhm.
murder of crows. So, yeah, but because I kept looking and I looked at the oh, I know why I noticed no number 6 because I was listening to the book and I had fallen asleep, but I had earmarked or bookmarked where I had left off. And I'm going through and I was like, huh, did I miss number 6? And I
Mhm.
kept going through and I was like, that's got to be some significance because that is so major that if an editor missed that,
Yeah.
and I should have went back and like looked at interviews or something to see if she mentions it, but I'm assuming that's what it is that
It's gotta be
yeah,
because the fact that we went back in time to the beginning of his. So, obviously,
spree.
we started at the beginning and then we slowly inch our way forward to present day.
Yeah.
So, and, during those 5 years, she called out, "Hey, he went somewhere and he brought back something." So he's giving the
Mhm.
trinkets to her.
Yeah.
And actually, that was an indicator that she wouldn't be alive for much longer when he gave her necklace
Yeah.
to,
Exactly.
Emily. And it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Oh, that means you're not long for this earth girl because he found someone else to give the trinkets to."
Mhm. Exactly. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he's gonna grab her. I don't know, and see, that also tells me about how his cockiness and assuredness, because you are escalating to the point where you are gonna get someone who is known in this community.
Mhm.
You don't even
Yeah.
care.
Yeah. Yep.
She has a business here. She's not a no one.
Nope.
And you're gonna
Nope.
yank her?
Yeah. Or did he just think, they were
Or
gonna
is
live
that
this happy life?
yeah, is that your new wife?
Mhm. Yeah. And it was so crazy, like, when his wife died that her family kicked him out. They knew his ass was
They knew
crazy.
something was wrong with him.
They knew he was crazy.
Yeah,
But yeah, and now that you say that, I do remember the necklace being given. I wonder if that's why he presented her to the judge because he's like, "This is my cousin. She's just here for a visit." Because if she comes up missing, she's went back home.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a twofer, I think.
Mhm.
He wanted to show her that I have the power and you have none.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, because
And
that was also at the moment where he knew that Emily had gotten into the
yeah,
house,
so it's a
but she
twofer.
had never mentioned that Emily had gotten into the house.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Mhm.
she did tell Emily told on herself,
Mhm.
and I said, "Oh, that didn't come
But
back."
yeah, but Rachel never said anything. He had sex with her that night, and she's like, "Mm." And then all of a sudden, he started changing, like, "Let's do this and let's do that." And she's just like, "Er?" The little spidey senses are
Yeah,
tingling here. And
yeah.
that's when she was like, something's, like you said, she got the pen from Cecilia, and she's like, I need to find what is in the basement.
Mhm.
So
What's down there?
yeah, yeah,
Evidence. It's
yeah,
like they cannot help themselves. They all keep the evidence.
yeah, yeah. Because they're sick.
Mhm.
I was watching, I don't know if I told you that, but I watched the John Wayne Gacy story. There was a couple of them on Peacock, and I was intrigued by this story because John Wayne Gacy is from Illinois, and when this story came out, I was a kid, and I remember seeing this story, and it scared the hell out of me because I thought as a kid, you're like, "Oh my god, he's coming to get us. He's in the, he's like right in our backyard basically where
Mhm.
he lived." So I remember seeing this story come on the news at night. My mother always got the Chicago Sun-Times. We would go get her the paper from the White Hen Pantry, and I remember seeing his face on the cover. So I watched the show, and just the mind of a serial killer. And so I watched that. I watched Monster, but we're true crime people. We love mystery. But and then he wind up going to Stateville Prison, which is again right in my backyard. So, just with that being so local and how he tricked these young men
Mm.
into,
Yeah.
it's no different than, a serial killer is a serial killer,
Yeah.
regardless if you're killing young men or young women. The seduction, the play, the manipulation is all the same. The grandeur
Yeah.
of the personality. So, when this story came up, which, like I said, I wasn't sure what it was about after, watching, and I watched Monster. Monster is a little different. But, they're just the grandeur of a serial killer.
Yeah. Like this guy, he killed a lot of people.
Yeah.
That's just so crazy. And then the fact that at the end he basically confessed to some of it. I was surprised he caved.
Hmm. Yeah. But I mean, yeah. I think, you know what? It almost was like, was he just tired?
Maybe.
You know? Because it seemed like the murders, just from the book and the stories from the victims, like when the wife became sick, that's when his killing revved up. She
Yeah.
got better, but she was better, but she's sick again.
Mhm.
So who knows?
Yeah, who knows why they pause for whatever amount of time before they get back to business, but
Yeah. And I didn't really even care to hear why. I was just really enthralled with the women in his life and how, like the synopsis said, this is a case study on how you can be manipulated by a charismatic man.
yeah. Listen, ladies, if you come across a man that just seemed too something, pay attention.
Yeah.
Just pay
Yeah.
attention. Because even if he's not a serial killer, he was definitely manipulating her and pulling the chain. Like, I think about how, after they kind of hooked up or whatever, all of a sudden he being dodgy. He acting funny.
Mhm.
It's like he almost knew what to do to get her to come to him, not
Mhm.
the other way around.
Yeah.
Total manipulation.
Yeah. And he had pictures of her. So she
He
was
did.
she was definitely, I mean, who's to say kill, but definitely she was gonna yeah, that she was gonna be either, like you said, the next wife or
The
something.
next prisoner, the next wife, the next something. Because why in the
Mhm.
world would he give her the necklace?
Mhm.
Like, there's he
And
put
the scarf.
and the scarf. So maybe he didn't know what he was gonna do with her yet, but she was on the chopping block for
Yeah, she
something.
was. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was gonna be used for something. She
Mhm.
young little filly. Maybe she could take care of Cecilia for me.
Oh my god.
And she was willing to be
Ugh,
ready to be the new stepmom.
she sure was.
And I think
Ew.
that may have been it, like a replacement wife.
So, do we know if he was just killing these women or doing other things to them? Do we know? I feel like it wasn't clear. We know he was killing them.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We definitely know, he used, uh, Rachel, but I'm not sure about the other women. To
Mhm.
be honest, yeah, I'm not sure.
So I'm like, he just going around just knocking people off, like, that's crazy.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I can't even wrap my mind around it. It sounds so
yeah.
outrageous.
And I mean, he'd have nice little conversations with them, and I was like, "Oh my god,
Yeah.
I gotta sit here and listen to your pillow talk before you kill me?
Like
Shit!"
the one girl's like, he's like, I have a tenant, I have a child, I have a life. She's like, I do too, motherfucker. Goddamn. Like, I ain't
The
say it. Right.
fuck?
Like, who are you? Like, you just
Yeah, and that's why it's like the frustration of, like, all this pent up energy, my life is a wreck.
Yeah.
Kill, kill, kill. Oh, I better stop. That was from the other book.
Mhm.
Kill, kill. God, guys, that's what happens when you read so many of these books. They all start blending.
Yeah, they do. 'Cause they all got the same crazy antics in them, but,
Mhm.
that is one thing that was really unique about this book. We weren't trying to solve a mystery because we knew what it was. It
Yeah,
was really just about the women, and he was obviously a part of that because we had to deal with him seeing him through the years doing this to different women, but
yeah. And
yeah.
how he found them and how he came upon them, and yeah, it was mm,
Yeah, but I don't give a care about him at all. I don't care what happened to him when he was young. I don't care what triggered this. I don't care any about it.
no, no. And I do appreciate that this title, it stuck with, the premise of the book. I was like, "Yep, The Quiet Tenant."
Yeah.
And I know, like, at that one moment when the officer wanted to talk to her at the end and she could not have her voice
Yeah, she couldn't say her
because
name.
yeah, because she really didn't talk. She talked to Cecilia and him, but now all of a sudden she's just like, "Oh, yeah."
Yeah. I'm like, "Girl,
I
you
can't
better get it
imagine
out
how
before
hard
they let him out of
yeah,
jail."
mhm,
I'm like,
yeah.
I'm actually glad that it cut off after that because I didn't wanna sit through that. That sound
No, it was perfect.
yeah.
I felt like the ending was perfect. She ended it well. I know some people felt like it was rushed, but I didn't feel like it was rushed because it was like the buildup was the entire book was the buildup of her and
Mhm.
her getting to where the ending happened, her trying to, uh like you said, she had to find that perfect opportunity, but in her mind, was it ever really a perfect
No, that's
opportunity?
the thing, there never is. There
Yeah.
never is. You just kinda gotta go for it. When you think you have a good shot,
Mhm.
you gotta go for it.
Yeah.
And ultimately, like, I think I don't know how realistic this is for someone who's held prisoner because I feel like a lot of women would try to escape so many times they just be killed before you even got to 5 years
Mhm.
because you're gonna take the chance. If I see the minute he said, "I'm watching you," I probably would have tried it. I probably would have tried it, and I think a lot of women would have. Say, "Fuck it
Mhm.
all," and see what happens.
Yeah, because remember he forgot to lock something, and she's
Yeah.
like, "You forgot." And he looked at her like,
He knew. He knew he did it, like, that one time.
mhm.
But we don't know. He could just said, "I know." We don't know.
No.
He could have just been
Yeah,
saying that.
manipulation. Right. Just
Mhm.
like he said, I got eyes I'm a
Mhm.
lineman, baby. I see
That's
everything.
why I'm like, I don't think I'd be one of those people alive 5 years because 'cause I've been like, "I'm not doing this."
He's like, I'm
So,
a runner. I'm every opportunity.
every
Yeah.
opportunity.
Yeah. But she said to survive.
I know.
Rule number one.
Yeah, I
I
still
know.
think that's crazy. I mean, she
Yeah.
had at least in my opinion, she had at least 3 good times, maybe 4, that she could have tried it, and I mean, one of those is with the judge. You could try your luck. I
Scream
would have
something.
tried it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But she was just so patient, which is I think is so unusual. Now, and I do know we've heard real live stories about people who've been with the kidnappers for a very, very long time, like, was it Jennifer Smart? Was that her name who was with them for a long time, or was that
That
someone
was in
else?
yeah, one of them is the smart. Is that the one that was in in the woods and yeah, I think that was her.
Something. So
Yeah.
there are people who are with they're kidnappers and rapists for a long time, but I don't think a lot of people make it that long because they
Yeah.
either say, "I don't wanna do this," so they just give up and die. You know how you can just the body will do it. After so many you starve for so long, you just say, "Fuck it." Or they're trying to escape so hard, they end up being murdered because they don't wanna deal with the headache of trying to keep them. I don't know, this is a very unique situation, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, "Is this based on a true story?" But I mean, if like you said, when it could be when you
Mhm.
there's so many cases out here where, um, the women have had opportunities and just waited for the right time.
Yeah, and statistically, though, and I think the statistic obviously is a statistic for a reason, a lot of the times, they're dead within 24, 48 hours.
Mhm.
So this is an anomaly. It's very unusual, it does not happen often.
Yeah. It was something he saw in her
Yeah,
that yeah. And to move and take her with you. But I mean, you like
she talked him into that.
mhm.
She
I get how
said, "Yeah,
mhm.
this doesn't have
Yes.
to end." Like, she really tricked him.
Mhm. Like, "I really like you pinning me up to this here bar and us having you sitting up on top of
You
me
just doing it
I love
every night
this."
on the ground, and I
Yes.
love
I love
starving to death. Oh, it's so fun.
Yep. I love it.
Like, it's so crazy. She gets in the house. She
She
gets a
manipulated
bed.
him just a little bit.
She get in that house, she get in the bed, and then she like, "I need to lay on the floor." I'm like, "Damn, that's sad."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially the first night, she's
Mhm.
probably it just felt weird
Yep.
probably. Yeah.
Yeah. But I did also like, I guess one final thing I'll say before we're coming close to time, but as the time went on and the circumstances changed, the author transformed the entry for her chapters. The woman in the shed, the woman in the truck, the woman in the car.
Woman in transit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
The woman in the
Yeah.
house and then all this. So I think that was like really kind of thoughtful how she did that.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
this is a French writer, and
Mhm.
English is her second language, and she wrote this.
Mhm.
Like, wow.
Mm.
Yeah, she did a great job
And
with
she was
this.
one of the narrators as well.
Yeah, she was woman number is it 9?
I'm
No,
not sure,
at
one of
9.
them.
Yeah,
They
they
said at
mentioned
the
at the
end.
end, yeah.
Yeah.
And can we talk about the narrators?
Mhm.
I didn't know the difference. I knew it was a full cast,
So
but they all
look,
sounded the
I
same.
knew it was someone different reading the chapters. It sounded
Yes, like a
distinctly
man.
different.
It sounded like a man started the
Yeah.
beginning of the yeah.
Yeah. So I
I knew
caught
the difference
that.
between Cecilia, but everybody all the other
They
women, they
sounded
sounded
similar. I thought
yeah.
it was just me. I'm like, "Wait, this is 10 people?"
Mm-mm.
At the end when they start saying the names, I'm like, "What?" I thought they
Yeah.
were gonna say, like, 3 names.
No, I knew just from when I took out the book and I saw the narrative, I was like, "Wow, okay."
They
But then I
sound
was
too
listening, I
similar.
was like, only difference I could tell was Cecilia and the other women. That was it. I thought it was 2
Cecilia
people.
see, I
It
thought it
only
was
sounded
3.
Okay,
Cecilia,
right, in the chapter
and the
people.
chapter. So I thought it was
Mhm.
Cecilia, the chapters, and I thought one person was
Rachel
reading for Rachel and
and all the
Emily.
other yeah, so right, 3 people. But
Mhm.
10?
I couldn't tell.
No. Mm-mm. No.
That's creepy. I'm like, 10 people? And I can only hear
My
3?
thing is you paid you wasted your money.
Right.
But anywho,
Yeah.
mm, but it was a gr
Ugh.
this was I enjoyed this one.
Yeah, same. I did
Yeah.
too. And at
Mhm.
first, like, when I finished it, I didn't know how I felt about it exactly. It was like this really funny place
Yeah.
where you like, I know that was good, but I don't really know how to feel about it.
Yeah, that was one of those ones you had to let sit with you for a little bit because it was like, "Huh,
Mhm.
it was a good one," but it's like, I can't wait to for book club for this one because it I know there's gonna be and not in book I won't even say with book club, but I just know, like, from some of the reviews, a lot of the people were just like, "If I was so and so, I woulda did." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's because you're on the outside reading this. You're not there." And I know Emily was frustrating, but then when you start looking at her character, this is a orphan. She was what? She was only 22, 23,
Look, let
if
me
that
just say,
age, and
I'm
she
not
lost her
look, I
her
can't even be
parents.
mad, or I know this might be a little Emily hate, but has she been doing that to a regular man that is not a psycho stalk killer,
Mhm.
you'd be like, "Girl, they're gonna call the police on your ass. What are you doing?
Right,
You are the
especially the
crazy
house stuff.
one."
Yeah, especially the house stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, she like, "Take me, kidnap me, please." She like making it
Girl,
easy. I'm like,
she was doing the Meredith Grey, "Love me,
"Yeah,
hug me,
yes,
choose me." I'm
yeah."
just like,
So
"Girl, go sit down somewhere."
I had a hard time like feeling bad for her because I'm like, you are like going toward the danger. You have
Yeah, but
no
she didn't know
sense.
that. Yeah,
But
but she
look,
didn't know that.
the man is not treating you well. He wasn't. She was obsessed.
Yeah, that she was. Totally.
After they
But
hooked up, he was not calling her. He was not treating her well.
but let's play devil's advocate. How many women do you know that do that? Or you see that happens? Men are just trapped, but they still keep coming. You know what I mean? Like, this is a realistic character. Yes,
That
she
sounds
is.
crazy.
It does sound crazy, but it's so realistic. It is so, I mean, you know how many women he treats her like crap, but she keeps letting him come back. I mean, we see it all the
I
time.
know, but she was
See it
so
all the
desperate.
time. She was.
I
She had lost
I
her parents. She thought she was about to hit the lotto, the man lotto girl. She thought she had the best thing since sliced pie.
I don't
This
know.
was a young girl in love. I don't
Don't know
this
why.
might have been her first love.
I don't know. We didn't get to know enough about her
No.
to
But we
really.
did know that she was motherless and fatherless, running a big ass restaurant by herself.
But she had her own little self-made family that lived with her. She wasn't
But they
alone.
couldn't do what Aiden was doing.
Girl, go buy something from the big people store. Go buy something from the store. You be
Girl,
fine.
she was like, he gave me this
Rita,
scarf
look,
and I brought him some
go
cookies.
go buy some stuff. Read a romance. You okay?
Right.
I
Get
don't
out
know.
more. Get out with Wanda and the other little fella.
Take a
Get
cold
out.
shower or something. I don't know.
Watch a movie. Shit. But yeah,
No,
all I could think of is here you have this little young girl. This may be her first real crush.
but she's
And
not that young.
was
She's
she like
like,
23, 24?
I felt like she was at least mid-20s. I
But
mean,
if you have not had a relationship, and here you got this widower,
but we don't know that. We don't know. The author didn't give
you
us
don't. But you don't know. But it seemed like that she was not well versed.
experience,
Yeah, she was not experienced. That's how
but
I
she wasn't talking like she was a virgin or anything. It wasn't virginal. When she was hooking
no.
up in the closet, the storage closet or the freezer or whatever
Yeah,
the hell they were
she
doing.
wasn't virginal.
Yeah,
But
so
but I felt like she just thought she hit the man lotto. He's a lineman, he's a widow,
Normal men should
and
run from her.
he just needs someone, and
Normal
I'm that
men
one.
would be scared of her.
But she woke up after she ain't figured out, but yeah.
And actually, the end, to be really honest, I was like, why are you trying to hug this woman? Like, why do you feel the need to go and hug her? I don't understand that part because you, ma'am, you escaped. You got through. I don't know.
I felt like she wanted to go to Rachel because I saw you and I didn't see you. Like, I saw you, but I saw you as competition, and all this time, you were in trouble.
Well, it would have been nice if the author had given us that from her POV. She didn't. Instead, we got it from whatever. I can't remember Rachel's real name. We got it from her point of view.
May?
Yeah,
May
May.
Mitchell.
We got it
Mhm,
from her point of view at the end.
mhm.
And they were both, I think, making assumptions about each other because they really didn't actually talk about it.
No,
So
no.
I don't know. That just seemed kind of odd to me. Like, I guess that very, very last scene I didn't love. I'm like, I don't know what's happening here.
It was I felt like it was closure for Emily, for her to move on, because she had moved out of this she sold the business, she was moving into the city. I just felt like it was a closure thing for her, and almost like an apology, like, "I'm sorry that I didn't see what
And she
it
only
was
left. Well, she only left because she was embarrassed. She was because
yeah,
people
that too.
knew she was chasing that man, and he turned
You
out
leave
to be a
you
serial
leave
killer
Emily alone.
and a
Yeah.
rapist. So now you embarrassed and
People
ashamed.
make mistakes.
Okay, but she didn't have to pack up and leave then if that's how she really
Shit,
felt.
I would have left. Shit,
But
they had
yeah,
this come on now.
she
Them
felt
people kept
shame,
coming.
so she left.
She was about to it was a circus. They were coming to the restaurant to see her. I would love to. Fuck all y'all in
No, but
upstate New
leave
York.
then. Leave that woman alone. I mean, I think that May/Rachel was very gracious to give you that because she didn't owe you shit.
Nothing. Mm-mm. No,
So
no, no. But I mean, Emily didn't do anything bad to her, to be honest. She didn't.
no, she didn't. She didn't do
Mm-mm.
anything to her,
No.
but she didn't do anything for her either.
But
Not
she
really.
didn't know.
I know. I, and that's the thing. It's like, so
I think
Rachel
that was the
slash
thing, like, she's
May,
probably just, like, thinking in her head, like, "God dang it, why I didn't realize that this woman was in need." You know what I mean?
even if they wanted to be like, dang, we both had to deal with this man. It wasn't in the same way. You chased him. I was prisoner.
Yeah.
We are not the same.
Same. Oh, yeah, definitely. No, no, no.
So, and again, I know what the author was going for, but that moment didn't really hit for me
Okay.
because there wasn't enough groundwork for me to make me feel like she needed that Emily needed that comfort from the person that was held prisoner.
Yeah. Yeah.
She didn't go to offer comfort. She went to get
Get
comfort.
comfort.
And I don't like that.
Okay. I can see when you say it that way. Okay. I'll go. I'll go for that one. I will.
But
I'll accept
that's
that.
just my little 2 cents.
That's your and I see it. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I see it.
again, Emily, straight to
Be on somebody's couch. Quick.
immediately.
Yeah. Do not pass go.
No. All right. Should we rate it?
Yes, please.
Okay, you go first.
Gave it a 4.
All right, same. It's a strong
Yes.
4.
Yes.
The
Yes, yes,
only
yes.
thing that could have made this better is if the pacing was a little, there's 2 things that could have made it better. If the pacing was a little faster, this was a kind of a slower one,
Mhm.
and if the narrators were better.
Yeah. Yeah. The pacing was slow because there were certain times where I just, like, um, doze out. I just, like, zone out, like,
Mhm.
because it was like the voices were very monotonous, just like, there was no. So yeah, and I felt like that too. Like, I wonder if this came over better in print.
Yeah, I might have.
Yeah, but yeah, it was a solid 4. She did the structure, just it was great.
Yeah, it was very unique in that way. So I wonder if she's writing something else. I think I'd give her another try.
I think she is.
Yeah.
Well, I know she has other books, but I don't know if anything is like newer than this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would too. I would
Yeah.
give her another try. Because maybe
Hopefully,
somebody has told her, "Hey, your pace, pick up the pace." But I do get the reason why the pacing was like that.
yeah. I just hope that she doesn't have another huge cast of audiobook people and then them not actually.
Yes.
They missed the opportunity. They could have did some of the you know how sometimes you get a little what do you call it? Like the real almost like an audio drama like feeling. They had some
Uh-huh.
opportunities to do a few things. They could have threw a man in there speaking for Aiden. I don't know. They kind of just missed a couple of things
Mhm.
that could have made that audio a lot better.
Yeah, especially when you have that many women that
Mhm.
are speaking in second POV.
Mhm.
'Cause, like, there's a variety of women
Mhm.
that, I mean, granted, they probably is all white. I don't know, now one of them did sound like they had an accent, now that I kinda remember, but it didn't stand out much because if you think about it, their chapters are so short.
Mhm.
But I think one of them did sound like they may have had an accent, but it wasn't
Maybe
memorable.
that could have just been someone with an, one of the yeah. Remember it.
But I mean, accent could be, just from, but you know what? He was probably only killing in upstate, but that doesn't mean anything. But anywho, a 4.
Yeah.
You get the 4 too. It was enjoyable.
Yeah, same. So yay, that was a pretty good
Yay.
end of the
Good.
year.
As I say, way to end the year.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So that is it for our buddy reads for the year, but we are going to do a wrap up. So you want to make sure you follow, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and you'll see what we have to say about all of the books that we read this year. So this has been a fun one. Thanks for listening to the entire episode. We appreciate you for doing that. And we'll catch you in the next one. Take care of yourselves. Bye, everyone. Did you enjoy today's episode? If so, please head over to Apple Podcast or Spotify and leave a positive 5-star review. It's a simple action that makes a big difference. You can also like this episode on your favorite podcast player or share it with your fellow bookworm friends on social media. Joining the Shelf Addiction Patreon family is another way to support us. For as little as $2 a month, you can help our team create even more amazing bookish content. If Patreon isn't your thing, consider becoming a supporter on the Spreaker app for just $5 a month and gain access to exclusive audio-only content. You can find me everywhere, including Instagram, X, and TikTok under the handle Shelf Addiction. Join our book club of the same name on the book club's website and app, where we discuss all things bookish and more in a safe space. The Shelf Addiction podcast is a part of the Nerdy Maven Network. Thanks for tuning in.